All right, adoption. Sir Burr, just finished your new special. Amazing as always. Thank you very much. I very much liked your bit about adoption, and as someone who grew up in a family through adoption, it's my honest opinion that it's the best and most socially responsible thing someone can do. My sister, brother, and myself were adopted by my folks after my dad made the choice back when he was a kid in the 70s and met an adopted schoolmate and expressed his true gratitude for being able to live a completely new life. My mom has made it clear that they could have had their own, and it wasn't a question of possibility, pain, or timing. My dad just always felt the need to do it. I don't know where I'd be without people like my parents, and adoption should really be how our new generation in privileged countries like our own acquire their children. Though I understand acquiring children sounds like the to-do list for an African dictator. Either way, thanks for the thousands of laughs. I hope you and Nia find tremendous joy in whatever you decide to do. Any kid would be fortunate for you guys to have. Oh, any kid would be fortunate to have you guys as a mom or a dad. What a fucking great guy. I got to be honest with you, dude, with the fucking world population problem the way it is, you know what I mean? And then all the kids out there that, for whatever reason, you know, I can't imagine over in Iraq how many kids don't have fucking moms or dads at this point through that fucking shit show over the last 10 years. Any time a war just fucking pulls everybody apart. And over here, you know, well, I don't know if do they allow husbands and wives in the United States military to both go over there? I wouldn't think so. They seem to not do that. After that, I think after they had that one, that ship that went down in World War II, when there was like 5 brothers from the same family were all on the same ship, and the thing got torpedoed, and some poor parents lost all 5 of their kids, man. Fucking brutal. I think the U.S. military does try to avoid that. So, no, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I should probably do it. I'm fucking 46, right? Didn't I talk about that in my act? I need to fucking get like a 10-year-old. So I'll still be alive when it graduates college. No, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it's a great thing to do. And also, you know, not only is it great for the kid, it is great for, I hate using the word society, mankind in general, because if you don't have any sort of parental guidance and you're growing up in some sort of foster home, you know, it's just like you're just going to grow up, you know, with a bunch of other fucked up kids, and you just end up doing what they're doing when the person could actually, you know, if you have parental guidance, you go to school, you get a good job, you meet a nice lady or whatever, you get fucking married, or what do you chill. If you're all fucking angry from your childhood and all that, God knows what you go out and go do, right? Yes, you know what? You reconvinced lady listener. Oh, this is the lady that just fucking rips me a new one. And what I love about it is she already, like, she's so emotional and so mad that right above she goes, lady listener dash fucking above your pay grade. You know, so her ego's in check. Dear Bilbo T. Baggins. Wait, is this the one? No. This isn't the one. Is this the lady? There was a couple that ripped me this week. No, I think this is the lady. Wait a minute. Is this the one? Wait a minute. Where the fuck is this email? It didn't come in? I'm going to have to edit this part out because I'm just sitting here babbling. Wondering where the fuck this thing is. No, there was some woman giving me shit about saying stuff about the fucking pink stuff in the NFL. Where the hell's that one? This other woman's just giving me shit saying I'm unfuckable. Like I didn't already know that. It's like, you know, I go out in the world with this face. I went up to bat with this hand that I was dealt. Where's fears? Oh, pink shit comment. Okay, yeah. Oh, here it is. Okay. Pink shit comment. Dear Billy Clueless, I was incredibly surprised by your ignorant comments about breast cancer awareness events in the NFL during the commercial read of your MMP. Well, then you're obviously not a regular listener. I always was talking about how they wore that pink stuff, and then that wasn't. I'll wait to the end. About talking about this shit. First, your sexist comment about it being the month of the lady. Oh, that wasn't a cute thing? Month of the lady. Okay, I'm sexist. I mean, I am, according to other women, so I guess you're another woman to say that. Completely degrades women in general. How? If I say the month of June is Gay Pride Month, does that degrade gay people? Oh, I guess because I said the lady. What was I supposed to say? The warriors? Okay, don't say you were just kidding. You weren't. I can say whatever I want. What the fuck? Why are you talking to me like you're my parent? Now, don't say you were just kidding. You weren't. This is what it's like to do stand-up now. How they took it is how you meant it. And you tell them, I didn't mean it that way. You're lying. All right. Evidently, you know what my thoughts are. Okay, this was evident by your next dumbass comment. Wait a minute. My whole podcast is one dumbass comment after another. Why are you fucking dying on this hill? You could have chose all of these you could have got outside yourself and had empathy for somebody else that didn't suffer from something. But no, not you. But wait, you're a better person. All right. This was evident by your next dumbass comment. I kind of like this. Because half the times I forget what I said. Saying, what's up with all the pink shit? Well, I'm a comedian. I mean, that's how we get into subjects. What's the deal with pink shit? Now, you have no idea what that moment is about. Oh, I can explain that to you. Yeah, that whole cancer awareness and holding that thing up. I believe it or not, people are aware that there is cancer. And people are aware that people have died of it. Do you know how many fucking friends and family I have lost to cancer? Do you have any fucking idea? All right? If you were at a party, I wouldn't fucking bring a sign and hold the guy's fucking name up in front of you and ruin your fucking party. You know, this is the thing. I watch sports to escape that. I do benefits all the fucking time for this shit. I meet the people. I see them in the beds fucking withering away. I saw my buddy like that. Yeah, like I'm watching a football game. Everything on Facebook, all of this shit is all gloom and doom. All the news is gloom and doom. The Weather Channel is gloom and doom. I have one oasis to watch a bunch of people have a ball and try to get it across the fucking goal line, and people have to bring up gloom and doom again. That's what I mean. Like, why are you doing that? Why are they doing that? Anyway, and if you knew anything about the NFL, which I don't think you, not that you don't know about this sport, like they have had a sort of a checkered past when it comes to these types of things, where it looks like they're doing these things and they're actually making a fuckload of money off of it, which I believe the first time they did the pink thing, from what I read, allegedly, remember those pink jerseys you'd buy and you think, hey, my aunt or uncle died of cancer. I'm going to buy this pink jersey, and this is, so nobody else has to go through it. Evidently, like 0.5% of the money for the jersey went to cancer, and the rest of it went to the NFL. That's what I read. It's kind of like when they did the support the troops thing, and they would cut to a troop sitting in the crowd, and you thought, oh, look at them, they're patriotic. And then you found out that when whoever they were showing, be it a Marine or a Navy guy or whatever, they charged that branch of the service for a commercial. So, all right, but whatever. But, let's get back to her ripping me a new one. It's about educating women about a disease that kills far more women than COVID-19, a virus you relentlessly talk about.
Well, wait a minute. Now I'm offended. Okay? Are you saying that all of those people, I mean, how many people need to die before I don't talk? You're doing the same thing to me. So not enough people died of COVID. So you find me talking about it relentless. All right, I'll try to ease it up. Early detection is vital to surviving any cancer. Really? Oh, there's some new information. Everybody knows that. I got yet another colonoscopy. I got fucking Jacques Cousteau going up my ass here in another fucking month. But that, I almost forgot that there was camera was gonna go up my ass. I almost forgot, but thank God that guy had okay, all right. I get it. I get it now. I see your point. As a person who has seen breast cancer completely destroy families, well, who hasn't? And could have been prevented with early detection. I applaud the NFL for trying to make a difference. Okay, now right there, your heart is in the right place. Okay? You ever go out on a date, ma'am, and you date a guy, you go on a date with the guy, and you just think he's a dreamboat. And then after your date, you're talking him up to your friend, and your friend just has this look on her face, or his face. And you're like, what? What's going on? Yeah, you might not want to have a second date with that guy. That guy, he's a little shady. I'm sure he was nice. I'm sure he was polite. I'm sure he held the door. That's what the NFL is. You just have to know that, okay? I'll leave it at that. And you can enjoy yourself thinking that their heart is in the right place. Their heart is at the bank.
Plenty more of those. Hollywood will make a movie about it. Problem, who's going to play the great white and who plays the killer whale? Problem with ginger at work. What's up, you ginger? Hey, if you got a problem with the ginger, you got to go to a ginger. I'm telling you, that's what you got to do. All right, I wanted to share an experience I've had for a couple of years now. My workplace offers a fitness center, a gym to work out in. If you complete 80 visits with 30 minutes durations in a year, then the company gives you a discount on health insurance. That's amazing. I don't want you dying of a heart attack, and then I got to use Zip to find somebody else. All right. A couple of years ago, the company direct hired a personal fitness trainer that is fresh out of college, who is also a ginger. Well, I don't know what that has to do with it, I'm already feeling like you're going to be coming at us. The problem is he's a guy. I don't give a fuck about him. The problem is he has turned it into this police of the fitness center, or rather hall monitor, if you will. Dude, oh my God. I swear to God, if you take 1 ounce of fucking shit from this fucking power drunk, I've loved all the emails, even the fucking bitchy one in the first one. I've loved all of these emails. This one's going to stay with me. Stay with me. All right, I'm breathing. I already hate this person. Only hearing your side of the story, of course. He will literally sprint across the gym if he sees you walk in to log you into the computer. Well, it sounds like he's doing a good job. It's completely unnecessary because they have a laptop set up to log yourself in, or he will shout hello and your name across the gym to acknowledge that you are there. You're a miserable. You want to be left alone. You need to communicate that. This has nothing to do with this guy. And it's just not me defending him because he's a fellow ginger. This is you, dude. And I got to tell you, I am way more you than that other fucking guy. Often he will guard the door as you walk in, say some really awkward one-liners like, hey, you coming or going? This dude's just fucking, he has personal trainer energy. They got to be upbeat. Anyway, meaning, are you just starting your 12-hour shift or getting off your 12-hour shift? He will ask that on a daily basis. Well, cut him some slack. He's just out of fucking college. Anyway, now you can imagine this, when COVID hit, I already know the solution to this. He took it to an extreme and next level, being the mask police and also cleaning things obsessively even after the person using the machine just cleaned it. I mean, he probably was told to do this. This kid's just doing a good job. I'll get you out of this. I.e., he says putting sanitizing wipes in each hand and getting on his hands and knees and vigorously rubbing the rails on each side of the treadmill belt. I mean, hey, listen, everybody says these young kids don't want to work. This kid's crushing it. I don't know what the problem is. He said, I can respect this kid's work ethic, there you go, in wanting to do a good job, but he needs to learn that some people just want to go to the gym in a zone mindset of busting out a good workout and not socializing or bullshitting. Exactly. But he's not a mind reader, buddy. What you're going to have to do is fucking grow a pair and go up to the young ginger and tell him that, all right? And I love that you've waited too long to say this, that now it's going to be awkward. So I got to think of the way you need to say it. Anyways, he says, especially before or after a 12-hour shift, you being a person that goes to a gym, I would think you two would understand this. Don't try to stick me in your fucking boat. When the fuck do I work a 12-hour shift? I don't even have the real job. I know it's just not my hatred for people because, yeah, there we go. There we go. Hatred of people, because I've asked other coworkers about how they feel about the kid, and they agree he's a major pain in the ass. How do I diffuse this? All right, there's two ways to do this. You could see the humor in it and try to out-energy him. Or what you do is you just go up to him and just say, listen, I really respect your work ethic, and you have an amazing positive attitude, but I got to be honest with you, man. I'm a curmudgeon, okay? I like to keep to myself. When I come down here, I go into a zone, and I don't want anybody talking to me. Is there any way? I know you see me. I respect that you see me and all. Is just any way you could just leave me alone when I come in here would just make my day. That last part sucked, but the beginning part was good. And you know what? This ain't my problem. It's your fucking problem. All right, I can tell you this. You hit the nail on the head here. You went to a ginger and a curmudgeon. I relate to both people in this story. This is like a good movie. Yeah. You could just be like, dude, it's early. It's early. But do you think that he's going to be a little rat fink if you say that? When he comes running, hey, you coming or going? You can just be like, it's not that exciting. You could say, get a new joke. See, you don't want to do that. That's what you're going to do because it's building up in you. You're going to snap, dude. But you know something? You're evolving as a person because you're asking, how do I diffuse this? How do I diffuse this? What the fuck is that? Oh, I know what that is. That's another thing I don't know how to fucking hook up. Sorry, I got to clean this fucking place out. I literally have foot pedals underneath when I was going for my instrument rating. Fucking things just fell on my foot. Yeah, just in the nicest possible way. Just be like, dude, I'm actually envious of how excited and amped up you are every day to come in here. All right, but I got to be honest with you, man. I'm not built like you. I'm a really quiet, stay to myself kind of person. If there's any way, I don't, give that energy to everybody else. I don't need it. I don't need it. I just want to put my headphones on and work out. Can you do that for me? I really appreciate. Thanks, bro. Just do that. That's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. Or you could go to a different gym. But then I won't get credit for working out. Well, that's the price you got to pay. All right, that is the podcast, everybody. God bless you, your jacket, your miniskirt, whatever the fuck you're wearing. God bless that DJ. Polyamorous, yeah, back to the thing. Polyamorous boyfriend or douchebag? Oh, I can already answer this. Well, it depends if you're banging a bunch of guys and if he's out there banging a bunch of women. All right. Lady, dear Bill, I have a predicament that I'm in, and I need your hilarious and brutal honesty. Oh, you know why? Come on, play. I try to cue it up. Come on. Why I want to play? Yeah. That's me. Me from somebody else. All right, I'm going to stop playing that because it's going to get old real quick. I have a predicament that I'm in. I need your hilarious brutal honesty. I'm a 27-year-old lady, prime of your life. Oh, yeah. Anybody else get the new Tool album? How great is that, huh? I want to figure that song out before I give it and have somebody fucking just look at somebody do a fucking drum cover. It's called Invincible. Or if you have my drumming ability, it's called Impossible. Thank you. I'll be here all week. All right. I'm a 27-year-old lady, and I've been in a relationship with a 25-year-old guy for about 8 months now. Oh, dude, this guy is the fucking man. He's banging an older broad, and he talked her into a polyamorous relationship. What? This guy's the shit. He's smart, he's loving, and we spend all of our days off together. Though there have been a lot of issues along the way that make me unsure about us. When we were 3 months into our relationship, my boyfriend told me about his ex, who he claims is not an ex, but just someone he casually slept with for 4 years. ... Ellipses, eye roll. He told me he felt bad for her because she was going through a rough time and she lost all of her friends. Oh, so she was getting the consoling cock. I mean, that's the thing. You know, you got gray asexuals, you got demisexuals, and then you got consolosexuals. He asked if it would be okay for him to meet up with her for a cup of coffee. I said okay, as I trusted him, and he reassured me he felt nothing for her, that he was not attracted to her, and that he just wanted to grab some coffee. Oh, Jesus Christ. About a week after that conversation, I called him, and he answered, revealing that his ex was in his apartment. Okay, all right, well, there you go. Now, what you should have done was gone out and get some hot coffee and fucking thrown it in his face. And the both of them were having beers. After I quickly ended the conversation, he immediately texted me asking if he could fuck her or come on her tits. No joke. I answered him, ended the relationship, and stated that we both clearly wanted different things. LOL. Hey, well, you know one thing about this guy, he's fucking honest. Well, I guess he didn't say that she was coming over. He immediately sent her home, he says, and he came over. He was upset and explained. He was upset. Is this real? Are you fucking with me? He was upset and explained that he thought we were in a polyamorous relationship. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. This is the way he does this shit. This is what I think the kids call gaslighting. Even though I told him that he could not have sex with anyone else when we agreed to be boyfriend/girlfriend. There was only one conversation about polyamory in which he did say he wanted to be in a polyamorous relationship. But I responded to this by asking him what what polyamory even was, and he said that it meant that maybe we could have a threesome. I answered, maybe someday. Yeah, so this guy's a lying piece of shit. But I wasn't ready for that. He was okay with that, never mentioned that we could fuck whoever we wanted, when we wanted. After much fighting, we end up working through it. He admitted that he was in love with me. Oh, bullshit. He's keeping you in his stable. Fuck this guy. And that polyamory was not important to him at all. Bullshit. I don't know this guy, but I would break up with him. That he would rather be with me than with all the ladies in the world. Oh, bullshit. I'm sure he said that to that chick he was having fucking beers with. He agreed not to talk to his ex anymore, and we moved on. That's all bullshit. Since then, we discussed boundaries many times. I've tried to end the relationship a couple more times because of his ignorant, flirtatious behavior. He's not ignorant. He's selfish. Found out he went out for a drink with a girl from class he's attracted to, and found out he's been texting her, though not sexually. Yeah, oh, Jesus Christ. How many more red flags do you need? Most recently, I tried to break up with him after he told me he was texting his ex again. Yeah, I called that fucking 2 paragraphs ago. Every time we fight, I try to end it. He writes me long letters about how much he loves me and would do anything for me. He's full of shit. He's just saying whatever he needs to say to selfishly keep you in his life. It's going to feel fucking great. Tell this guy to go fuck himself. I don't even know this guy, and I hate this guy. He will blame his behavior on his terrible relationship with his mother and his father. He'll do anything but take responsibility for it. He blames his father, who is a womanizer. He begs me to give him time and to tell him what it is and isn't okay. Yeah, because he doesn't get it. Well, this is what you should do. You should invite him over one time as you're riding the dick of somebody else and be like, you see this? This isn't okay. You see what you're feeling right now? That's how you were making me feel. He literally wrote out a relationship agreement. My friends don't like him and think he's controlling / disrespectful towards him. I've never met the guy and I don't like him. They say I'm way out of his league, and they are shocked that he acts the way he does. Oh, they say I'm way out of his league. Oh, okay. I know the answer seems obvious, but I'm deeply in love with him. Yeah, he's fucking the shit out of you is what's happening here. That's what it is. He's a good-looking guy, and this is how he gets away with it, right? That's what it is. I get it. I see. I was wondering why you would stay with this person. I get it now. All right, he's coming over there. He's got the romantic novel hair. He's packing about 8 inches. He knows what to do with it, and he keeps sucking you back in. Been telling myself he's just young and naive. I always believe him when he says he'll stop talking to other girls and that he has never cheated on me, as I can see how much he loves me, parentheses, as I've read through his text. Yeah, they probably copied and pasted from the other person he sent him to. Though it hasn't changed how much he looks at other girls, how much he loves strip clubs. Oh, good Lord. And how about cocaine? Can we throw that in there for the trifecta? And the fact that I have to even read through his texts. Please, Bill, am I just blind because I love, or does this relationship just need a lot of work and communication? Longtime fan and listener, best wishes to you, Nia, and your lovely daughter. And, of course, go fuck yourself. Yeah, Jesus Christ. You know what? I bet as I read this out loud, I think you know what you need to do. Yeah, fuck this guy. And fuck this guy. And this guy is going to hurt a lot of people. And and the longer you're with him, the more he's going to hurt you. Get the fuck out. That's it. All right? That's it. What I would do. Into the whole fucking thing. All right, budgeting question. Dear Billy the Banker, I'm a 29-year-old lady. And I graduated college last December. Congratulations. I worked hard and found a great job immediately. Good for you. I can comfortably pay my bills and put money away in savings. Now, this is a scenario you don't hear that often from these kids who are graduating college these days, it seems. Anyway, she says, I've picked up a side gig tutoring kids to earn extra money to put into savings. Things are going pretty well. Ah, gee, whatever you do, don't fucking start dating some freeloading douche who wants to take your money and invest it in his idea. All right, here's my question. I grew up really poor in the South. Here come the relatives. I survived with my single mother living off welfare and charity donations. I worked hard and had a job since I was 13. I put myself through college and now occasionally help my mom out financially. Understandable. My problem is I've been saving to the point that I now have a little extra stored and I really want to go on a real vacation with my partner, but spending money scares me. That's not a bad thing. That's better than being the other way where you just, it just slips through your fingers. This is exactly how I was with money for different reasons. I grew up in the 70s, gas crisis, economic crunch and shit. And I had friends whose parents had real jobs and they lost the jobs and they lost the houses. They had to move away. And, there's a period my family had to downsize. You just saw it at a young age that, shit can go. Shit does not stay the same. Shit moves. So, I remember when I moved to New York City, I was afraid to take a taxi cab. Like maybe twice a month I would take a cab, and I couldn't believe the luxury of it. I'd finish up down the Village and take a cab all the way uptown, back when they drove like lunatics. They're starting to drive like lunatics again, but Giuliani slowed them down. But they used to have the way they had the lights timed is you could just fucking go from like basically, 8th Street up to about 79th, 80th Street before, just too many people got in front of you and you missed the light. You just be in this pocket of green lights the whole way up. And I remember it would just be such a luxury to do it. And then afterwards I would get out of the cab and I would feel so fucking guilty. And I would never order out for food. I just held on to every fucking dime because I didn't know what was going to happen. Even though, I always had this thing in the short run. I was white knuckling, freaking out every fucking move I was making. But in the long run, I had this confidence and knew I was going to be all right. It was weird. So anyways, she says, okay, my problem is I've been saving to the point I haven't had enough money to go on a vacation, but spending money scares me. I have an emergency fund as well as a separate savings account for if a recession hits, and I was out of work for a few months. Wait, for if a recession hits and I was out of work for a few months. Okay, you weren't out of work. This is just in case. See, this is the way like a responsible person handles money. And then you don't become a debt to society. This is the way the government should be running this country. But they don't. And then when they fuck up, somehow then they come to people who responsibly handle their money and say, we have to take more of your fucking money. And that's like, well, what the fuck are you guys doing? I'm balancing my budget. You can't do the same fucking thing? Paying $9 million more than you should be to these fucking assholes who get the government contracts? All right, let's stop making it about yourself, Bill. Sorry. All right. Growing up so poor has made me respect money and fear being without it. It's a hell of an education. I live modestly and below my means, but I think it's time I do something for myself. Is that selfish? Look at that. Yeah, it's like me taking the cab. How do you go about spending money on a vacation or an expensive purchase and not feel guilty? My partner says I deserve to relax a little, and even my manager says I should take some time off. What do you think? All the best to the lovely Nia and the little one. Go fuck yourself. I think they're right. And I don't think like this is going to be like hitting the crack pipe. Like you're going to go on a 3-day fucking vacation and then all of a sudden just come back and start buying fucking gold chains and stupid shit. This is what I have learned late in my adult life is the importance of taking time off, the importance of taking a vacation, the importance of quiet time, and the amount of, recharging your batteries, and then you can come back and be even better at your job and become even more successful. You have to fucking do it. All right? The old me, I would have come right out of this fucking acting gig all summer long and gone right hardcore on the road, said yes to 1,000 fucking things. I did that a little bit. But once I saw this free time, I was like, oh, I can get my instrument rating. But that's fun and enjoyable. But I think it's huge. Huge. This is what you should do, is schedule in, a couple. Listen, you don't have to fucking go to, the ends of the world to go on vacation. You know what's really underrated? Not only a stay vacation, which I don't think you should do. I think you should go somewhere. Just taking a vacation, lakes are the shit. Just hanging out, getting a little fucking cabin. And it doesn't, a lake is a fucking lake. So you can find a cheap fucking place and, you're with your partner having a great time. Get some food, have a couple of beers, just fucking hang out. You can go to the grocery store and just buy burgers and dogs. Chill the fuck out. Laugh your ass off. Play cards. Don't watch TV. Shut off your phone. If you did that for 3 days, you'd be amazed what that did for you. And it wouldn't even cost that much money. And then as you get more and more successful, or if you have like a place you really wanted to go on a vacation, just start saving towards that and save way more than you need and then go on that vacation. But I think you had, no pun intended, a priceless upbringing. And it's great to hear a young person that has this type of viewpoint on money. And that's a great way to be. It's always better. And my grandparents were like that because they lived through a depression. They were incredible with money. Both sets of grandparents were incredible with money. They just, first of all, aside from going through the depression, there was also repairmen back in the day. And if your TV broke, you got it fixed. You didn't just fucking throw it out. There wasn't this design obsolescence. Is that the word that they have with all of this shit, where you just accept the fact that things are going to break, and then you don't even entertain getting it fixed. You just throw it out. Anyway, advice. By the way, can more people like that please write in? Advice. Hey, Bill, love your podcast, bro. Been a fan for years through your stand-ups and movies, etc. I have an issue, Bill. I myself am black and am dating a white woman. Oh, Jesus, why would you do that? Who has an interracial child. Parentheses, not a problem. Okay, the problem is the way her kid behaves. I was just fucking with the white chick thing, by the way. Okay, the problem is the way her kid behaves. I was brought up in the whoop your kid era that we as a society have forgotten. Yeah, I don't think you want to do that. You don't do that. The kid is 4 and seems to get away with murder, talking back, acting out, the whole nine, I really like this woman, but she seems to get upset when I mention anything about her kid's behavior, like it's normal or some shit. I wasn't brought up that way, so his behavior bothers me. Just thinking about his behavior is bothering me too. So should I stick it out and just deal with it, or should I say fuck that and move on? Thanks for listening and stay funny. Hope I hear this on your podcast, you ginger bastard. I say you say fuck it and move on. Because if I think you really had feelings for this woman, that would have come up. And you would have said, I really like this person. I love her. I'm really into her. This is just something that I'm just worried is going to be. You didn't say any of that. You're just like, yeah, I'm dating this white broad. She's got an interracial kid. Not a problem, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but as far as if you do decide to stick around, okay, you don't need to hit kids. You should never hit kids. That's not a good way to do it. You just have to remember the kid's 4 and can't reach the food. So you have all the power. All right? I'm not saying starve him either. I'm just using that as an example that you are totally controlling the environment. But if you're dealing with this woman who sounds like you're having a good time banging her, but I don't see like you're into her. If it moves on to another level, then at the very least, the kid has to respect you. And you can do that without raising your voice. You can do that without inflicting pain. You can do it without starving them. But you just don't tolerate it. Like, when they start whining and crying, you don't even address it. Let them have that little hissy fit, flip out, and then whatever they hissy fitting and flipping out about, you still don't give them. And then just say to them, like, why would I give you whatever the hell I want an ice cream. Why would I give you ice cream after you just behave like that? Because I want it. Yeah. Yeah, you're never going to get ice cream when you behave like that. And that's how it is. Now, you can go deal with that now and go flip out and throw yourself on the couch. I don't give a fuck. Okay? You're not strong enough to open the fridge, so you're not getting it until you behave the way you need to be behaving. So that's what I do if you stick around. But, I mean, just the way you wrote about her, I would move on. All right, response from a lady. Dear Billy Big Beard Mustache. A huge fan, long time listener, from a lady. 2 things I want to write about. 1, I also struggle with holding my tongue at the park in regards to other people's children. Oh, good. You make me feel better, especially when the children are much older than mine. My son is a small 5-year-old, and while at a splash pad, parentheses, water but not swimming. I'm familiar with these. These obese 9 to 12-year-olds were shoving my son and threw him to the ground, running past him at full speed and knocking him over. I yelled out, "Hey!" and "No" to the other kids. The mom, of course, was pissed that I yelled out. Yeah, these parents today. Don't yell at my kid. Well, he's a fat, sweaty animal. Why don't you stop feeding him? And why don't you talk to him?
turn them into a young adult rather than solving everything with a fucking banana split. Can't say any of that. You know? If I was making America great again, you'd be able to say that to another parent at a fucking playground. The mom, of course, was pissed that I yelled out. After that, she would yell out, "Those are my boys. Those are my boys. Be the alpha male." And stare at me like she wanted a confrontation. Oh, she would have got one. You should have on some stiletto heels. And mind you, she is also an obese, tall individual, and I was afraid that if I confronted her, she'd sit on me. Ah, fuck that fat shit. This is all you do. You get in their wheelhouse. You hop in and you hop out. That's how you beat a fat guy. You hop in, they fucking overcommit, all right? Unless they know what they're doing, which you never know nowadays. But say they don't. You hop in, they think they got you, they lunge for you, and then you hop out, and then gravity takes over, and then they face plant, right? And then they're laying face down, but it's like a turtle that's upside down. And you leave them there, and you let them bake. And think about what they did. That's how you beat a fat parent without throwing a punch. All right. I don't even know if that works, but it sounds good, doesn't it? Where am I? I notice people are doing less to ensure their children are doing less to ensure their children are little shits. It seems like every time we are at the park, there's rough kids who are absolute savages, and their parents just don't give a shit if they're bullying other kids. Yeah. And they start doing it's natural selection. Whatever. Just know this. You just protect your kid and know that someday that fucking moron will be shoveling shit into a truck. And I literally mean shit. In regards to the woman who's blunt, I'm also very large-breasted, but my frame is very small, and I can say I've never had an issue with that being taken seriously by men. They'll see my rack on site, yes, but it's not likely they only see a walking pair of tits. Well, even if they do, I mean, you should be able to within a couple of questions, you should figure out, that's all the guy's into, right? I've had plenty of meaningful relationships as an adult with a large chest. Fuck that lady and fuck all of those friends. If I were her friend and someone in that circle said that, I'd immediately call the woman out on being a dick. Thanks and go fuck yourself. I like this person. I like people who see the world the way I do. You agree with me. You're a good person. I like you. I don't like to be challenged with other opinions. Okay, quit drinking, would rather be alone. This next person says, Mr. Embarrassment. Sorry. I thought since you've taken time off from drinking that you'd be a good person to talk to and ask about this. I'm 22 years old, and after hitting the bottle hard since early high school, I decided to take some time off after it seemed to get out of control. Yeah, I've been there. I've been sober for nearly 5 months at this point. The thing is that since putting up the bottle, I've noticed I enjoy spending time alone rather than with other people. I still go out to bars and hang with my buddies who drink and usually just end up being the designated driver. He says, I have no problem with people who can control their alcohol. Just thought it would be a good personal choice to take some time away. But being sober / the sober guy at 22 is pretty damn rough when everyone else is getting shitty. Just wondering if you had any insight on the matter. Thanks and go fuck yourself. Well, I can actually relate, even at 46, of being the sober guy because of all the free time that comedians have. We can kind of drink like we're still 22. So I know how, I guess, but I'm not 22. So I guess there is an extra amount of stress with that. But I think what you're doing is a great thing. And hello, Nia. Hi. I think it's a great thing. And how do I put this? When you go on a run of not drinking, it's all about you, okay? And what you want to do and how long you want to do it. And I wouldn't give in to any external pressures as to when and where you start drinking again.
I always find it funny when I'm not drinking to go to a bar and watch basically everybody slowly roofing themselves and then just watch the behavior. And like I said, I don't do it in a judgmental way because I'm more kind of observing like, oh, this is how I was acting. It can definitely suck at night, but there's nothing better in the morning when you wake up without a hangover, ready to take on the world. And I would think at 22 to do that's pretty mature, and you got a chance of meeting your judgment on who you start dating would probably be a lot better rather than you're hammered and she's hammered, and you start the relationship off in this cloudy area. You might meet another, smart person your age who's taking some time off herself. Who knows? But as far as like, if you're feeling pressure to start drinking again, that's the wrong reason to start drinking, because everybody else is drinking is not the reason to come back. But, if you feel like you have it under control and, or if there's an event coming up and you're like, okay, I'm going to drink at that and then I'm going to immediately shut it off. But I got to be honest with you, that's a tough thing to do, because I was like, I'm going to drink when I went to Vegas, and then I was immediately going to go back on the wagon, and I was able to do it for 4 days, and then it was like July 4th weekend, then I had a beer, and then I've just been kind of drinking ever since. But fortunately, I drank so much in Montreal that now I don't want to drink. I think that I almost need to do that. I got to hit like a wall where I either make such an ass of myself or make such a bad decision, or I just do something that it's easy for me to kind of like want to walk away from it. But like I said, it's all up to you. You don't sound like you're an alcoholic. I mean, from your fucking email, I can't really judge it. But like I said, whatever, do whatever you want to do, but don't start drinking again because everybody else is. I guess that would be my advice. All right, let me read the last of the advertising here, then I'll wrap it up. Hey, for that kid also who was talking about not drinking, here's another thing too. At my age, I see the results of abusing your body with booze, drugs, food. People say food is a drug, which I would actually 100% agree with. You see the results of it. And unfortunately, when I was up in Montreal, I saw a couple of people that are my age and 10 years older, and they either the ones that took care of themselves and kind of quit drinking and tried to eat right and that type of thing, they look great. They still got the light in their eye. And then people who've been, hitting it hard, man, it really catches up with you when you get to be my age, where it's like, I've been of legal drinking age longer than I've lived when I wasn't. You know what I mean? That tipping point of like 42 years of age, when you've, and forget about underage drinking that you've already been doing, like it really, really catches up with you. So what you're doing right now, giving your body a break when it's as young as it is a phenomenal thing to do. And, you could actually experiment steering even more into a healthier lifestyle, like learning how to eat a little bit better. Because at 22, man, I mean, you can fucking drink a 12-pack and eat McDonald's late at night and wake up the next day with a flat stomach. But, like, you're setting yourself up for, just basically being a human being is no different than being an athlete. It's just the timeline is stretched out a lot longer. Like, Father Time is going to get all of us, but, those athletes who throughout their career, early in their career, took care of themselves have longer careers. And if you'd like to have a longer career, in other words, a longer life, like doing what you're doing is a great thing. So, I don't know. When you look at it that way, there's really no peer pressure. Is there really peer pressure to die sooner? All right. Nia, do you want to chime in on one of these? Sure. Do you want to do Dead Nazi Grandpa? Did I say Nancy? All right. Canceling landlords. Dear Bill, my girlfriend recently got active in politics. Occasionally she says stuff that makes no sense because it's secondhand information from memes. Well, yeah, if that's what you're using for your fountain of information. But who am I to judge? I just Google shit and I read the first article like most people. Once I had to explain to her how Congress worked because she insisted bills don't go to Capitol Hill. Oh, boy. I even sang her the song. She admitted to being wrong. Well, that's a big thing for an adult to do. And we agreed that for argument's sake, we, parentheses, she, won't quote internet facts. Oh, man, this relationship, somebody's going to have to give here. Either you're going to have to give into her tinfoil hat reactionary, like I said, Google it, read the first article, research done, or she's going to have to come your way. And it's going to be torture for both of you. All right, cut to this week. She's saying that we need to cancel landlords. I had to try and gather myself to explain to her that her father was a landlord. He has a business and owns the building, but rents out office space on the other side. She said, quote, "That's different." Oh, boy. She started spouting off all these bullshit facts that I traced back to a Teen Vogue article. Oh, wow, dude. So you write this shit down and then look it up and, God bless you, sir. You have both of your balls firmly within your grasp in this relationship that you're going to fucking take her you're going to take her down to the mat like this. All right. I'm 26 and she's 24. I just don't understand how you can rationalize that renting out residential or commercial space is like slavery. Also, aren't cities with stupidly high rent prices mostly blue? Well, let's go through them. Certainly everything out here in L.A. is a weird city, man. It's red and blue. People don't realize that because all they do is pay attention to Hollywood, but it gets deep red pretty fucking quick, and it gets deep blue pretty fucking quick. And obviously, if you're near the Hollywood sign, and I don't even know about that. It's just that anybody who is red in Hollywood knows enough to keep their fucking mouth shut. Anyways, we don't live together, so I'm probably going to break up with her in a few weeks. Yeah, you're definitely going to. I'm going to send her a meme about canceling girlfriends. Because for me, that's an important cause. Go fuck yourself. Love you, Bill. You know what I loved about this guy is he had a problem. He faced it. He realized there was no solution, and now he's going to address it. This man is going to be successful in life. This is what it is. He saw a problem. He tried to bring the horse to water. The horse would not drink. He sent it to the glue factory, and he's moving on. That's how you do it. He didn't adopt it. He fucking put it down. I love it. I love that whole story. Provided, that was just your side of the story. Yeah, why would you cancel landlords? You know what I mean? You guys are reminding me of the people that wanted to legalize weed. Remember that? Legalize weed, man. It's a source for paper. You can make jackets and you can make solar panels out of it, man. Now it's legal. What are they doing? They're just trying to figure out ways to get you more fucked up. Here's a way to be high, but you can actually hold a baby with this strand. This strand right here, you're just going to stare at the wall for fucking 3 days. It's like, where's the paper? Huh? Where are my green hemp fucking Crocs? They're nowhere to be found. People just want to get fucked up and not get high and not have anybody give them any shit, which I don't have a problem with. I really don't have a fucking problem with that. So, you know what is amazing to me is people that take those fucking trips, the hallucinating ones, and that's the thing that just blows my fucking mind. People take that, and it's just like, and when you come back, it's just like you're going to realize that this reality is just this reality that you fucking, it's that we've just agreed upon, but you're going to be looking at the world in a whole new fucking way. It's like, dude, I can't even handle reality. Like, I've always been like fascinated with psychedelics, but also fucking terrified. Just the whole thing, like, you need to take this, but you got to make sure you're in a safe place. I recently had a buddy of mine. This is his story, and he's a comedian, so I can't tell it. But he had such a fucking hilarious reaction to this thing that was speaking to him while he was high or tripping. And I tried to criticize him, and his reaction was like, well, who the fuck are you? You know? Which is just such the classic stand-up comedian like mindset. Like, what? This guy's great. Why? Not saying we're right, but that's just why the fuck am I listening to this guy? After being dumped. Oh, you never want to do that. When you do that, then they know that they won. What you got to do is you got to take the feeling, you got to push it down in you, you got to bury it. All right? And then you let it out slowly after 6 drinks onto unsuspecting strangers. That's how you do it. No, that's not what you do. What you do is reality. What you should do after being dumped is what you should do, what Chris Bosh did after they lost the championship that year. I think it was to the Mavericks. And he just dropped to the floor and he cried it out of himself. And everybody made fun of that guy. Do you realize how much more healthier men would be if we could actually do that? It would be absolutely horrific for women to see. And as much as they say they want to see it, they don't want to see it. You know what I mean? That's like the male equivalent of watching your wife change tire. You don't want to see that. Just seeing her out there jacking up the car and maybe making a strong throw from third base. That's just some things that men and women, you think you want to see it, you don't want to see it. What if she grunt a little bit when she just fucking threw a laser, right? Ball takes a funny hop and she's still able to fucking You don't want to see it. Not saying it's wrong. But there's just certain things. It's just dries them up and sends us fucking, pitching to the right or the left there. Old fucking Stan is down for the count, if you know what I mean. All right, dear Billy Boy. I actually should say yawing to the left. If I'm going to go aviation here. I am a 28-year-old dude. The beginning of the year was life kicking me in the nuts. My girlfriend, been together for 10 years, left me for some rich older fuck. Oh, man. Well, if you want to feel better about yourself, just listen to the Eagles' Lying Eyes. Because that's what the fuck she just walked into. Unless he's only a few years older. But if he's a lot older, I mean, what the fuck? Come on, man. What kind of young woman wants some guy's dick coming at him with their fucking salt and pepper pubes? I mean, that's no woman lays in bed dreaming about that. I can tell you that right now. All right, needles, needless to say. You wrote needles. Needless to say, but I will. It got me absolutely heartbroken, depressed as fuck, feeling that I lost all my goals in life, had to leave our apartment, which I renovated for us to finally be our no place like home place. Had to move for a while back in with my parents. That's always a hard time. Started hating my job. Yeah, dude, that's also... Dude, what you got going on here is you have a new beginning. All right? You got to understand, the kind of person that would leave you to go get with some rich older guy... I mean, I don't know anything about your relationship. I mean, it seems like you had a job, you renovated the apartment, you do seem like a motivated guy. It'd be one thing if you're sitting around on your ass... Look, if you're sitting around in your ass, you're not doing anything, you cannot expect a woman to stay with you. You're fucking useless. As a man, if you're not providing, what are you doing? You're just a big kid. They don't need that. You're 180 pounds of fucking excess weight just dragging them down to the ground. They got one life. They're going to go fucking live it. So, but you have a job. You renovated the place. You sound like a good guy. Granted, you're writing the email. Here we go. If it wasn't for the best friends in the fucking world, I don't know what I'd do. So it's been like 8 months, got my shit together, lost weight, started learning a new language. Here you go! Started studying, giving lectures in clubs, and banging a hot, smart 22-year-old girl. And that banging is the shit, he's saying here. Look at this guy, turned his life around. And I can tell you all your friends wish that they got dumped at this point, seeing you all of a sudden walking around like you're the new Johnny Bravo there. But the shitty thoughts about the ex still stir in my head. Well, it's natural, man. You were together for 10 years. 8 months later, one 22-year-old in a new fucking language. You're normal. That's normal. He goes, I feel bad because all that crap lands on this new girl. Oh, dude, that's the first wrong thing you've done. 10 years of sharing experience is kind of hard to forget, and it always pops up. I'm smart and sensitive enough to know what I'm doing is wrong. Well, there you go. Look at this. You're an evolved guy. He says, although something inside says, dude, the fuck is wrong with you? You should never say that to her. Never compare her to the ex. Yeah, don't do that. Never demand something she can't deliver, but somehow I still do it to the new girl, and it hurts her. How do I get to stop being a douche to this chick? Well, step one is you're admitting it. And how about this? There's a huge difference between 22 and 28 in a level of maturity. 32 to 38, there's not that much different. But 22 to 28, you basically go from being a kid to being an adult. Even though legally you're considered an adult, that's a huge difference, you know? I mean, if you're 28 years old, you go out on a date with somebody and you go, what's your major? That should be the beginning of when it starts feeling creepy. You know, I don't know. I always did. I was just kind of like, oh my God, this person's still in fucking college. You have a teacher in a semester. You know, what the fuck? I mean, you can't even relate to it. So how do you stop being a douche to this chick? I would actually sit down with her first off and I would apologize for doing it. That's the first thing you need to do. And get it out in the open and just say that, you know, I'm going to really work hard to not do it. And please call me out when I'm doing it. And I'm going to do my best to immediately stop it. Just know that I'm coming down from a 10-year dump here. And it's going to take me a little bit. So if you can be patient with me. But the last thing I want to do is hurt you. And this is not fair to you. That's the first thing I would do. Yeah, I would get her flowers and I would totally fucking apologize. And be on my fucking best behavior, you know, for a while, man. Because it's really a horrible thing to do, to take out your life on somebody else, take out your childhood and other people, which I did for fucking like 15 years. You know, it's bad. Remember what was that fucking show where that guy, my name is Earl? You know, I could do that just with my fucking relationships with women. It was fucking bad. Anyways, all right. So I'm not saying I'm above you or anything like that. All right. See that? Put myself right on your level. I've done the same fucking thing. So if I could go back in time, that's what I would have done. If there was a podcast that I could have written to. But I didn't. I was in a vacuum. I was living in a podcastless world, walking around with my dick telling me what to do, mixed with my childhood. It was a bad rest. All right. Tired of lying. Hey, Billy Nutbuster. Here's my situation. I've been mildly depressed. Jesus Christ, here we go. Everybody's having a problem this week. I've been mildly depressed for my whole life and struggled with an identity crisis since my early teens. What the fuck is an identity crisis? Hang on a second. What, do you look in the mirror and be like, who the fuck's... Oh, that's right, that's me. Sorry, hold on. All right. You know, I just realized how funny this is. I'm sitting there going like, I hate when like celebrities try to tell me who I should vote for. And here I am fucking giving you guys advice. But don't you guys ask me for advice because you think, you know, I'm going to say something stupid? This is just part of your entertainment, isn't it? All right. Identity crisis. The term identity crisis, coined by the psychologist Erik Erikson. That's a real name. My name's Bill Bilson. This is my buddy here, Pete Peterson. Means the failure to achieve ego identity during adolescence. Well, what the fuck does that mean? You don't achieve ego identity. That's a definition. That's a fucking enigma wrapped up in a riddle, right? The stage of psychological development in which identity crisis may occur is... And then you're just going to fucking move on? None of those fucking words are highlighted? Am I the only dumbass who doesn't know what that means? During this stage, adolescents are faced with physical growth, sexual maturity, and integrating ideas of themselves about what others think about themselves. Oh, here you are explaining it. Sorry, I panicked. Adolescents, therefore, form their self-image and endure the task of resolving the crisis of their basic ego identity. Oh, so it just means you're trying to figure out who you are. Well, who the fuck knows that at that age? All right. Let me get back to the fucking question here. Well, where's the question? Did I I didn't open a new window. Oh, boy. All right, here we go. I've been struggling with identity crisis since my early teens. All this thanks to my shitty upbringing. I am Canadian, but growing up, I've always been fascinated with American culture and so on. So and our bacon, dude. Our bacon, say what you want about, our foreign policy. You can't fuck with our bacon. So some years ago in my late teens, I'm now 27, I began to cultivate this lie that I was American. I fucking love this guy. Why would you do that? This is fascinating. And so on, to the point my friends and girlfriends believe this. I've gone as far as to legally change my last name, lie about my heritage, partly, and a few other things. My European girlfriend now believes full-heartedly in my life and her family and friends too. It started by accident, coming out as the casual lie it is before we dated. However, I am now in a very amazing relationship with her, and I love this girl very much and plan to marry her. Unfortunately, she has trust issues, and me being American is part of my appeal, I'm sure. Oh, God, dude, what did you do? She doesn't take to liars or lying lightly at all. Also, we are planning on starting a business together and so on. This lie would come out eventually. Right now, I'm in Canada for a couple of months, and she's in Europe. I'll see her again soon, and I'd prefer to break the news face-to-face, not on the phone. This lie is weighing really heavy on me, and I want to tell her, but I feel that if I lost her, I couldn't carry on in life. My depression is getting worse with this distance for a few months and the weight of this lie. By the way, this isn't a long-distance relationship. I live over in Europe, too. I want your advice on how to break the news to her. I love to hear your thoughts on the podcast. Yeah, dude, you just gotta face the music here. Yeah, I would just sit her down and just say, yeah, listen, I have something I have to tell you. Oh, God, and that's going to make her fucking heart drop, but you got to do it. I didn't cheat on you. I'm not breaking up with you. I would say that first. Okay? It's, something about me. I don't have cancer. And you just be like, what the fuck is it? And you got to be like, listen, I lied about being American. And there you go. And then it's out there. And then after that, it's going to naturally go its course. That's all you have to do. I lied about being American. I lied about being American. It's 5 fucking words. 5 fucking words, and this weight is off your chest. Now, how she reacts to it and all of that other stuff is different. I would just be totally honest with her and just say the weight of this, the reason why I did it, I didn't like myself, the identity crisis. Just tell her why you did it. And then I don't know what you do after that, other than just wait to see her reaction to it. I knew somebody one time that lied about their age. And it was nuts. He was dating this person for a number of years, and she was much younger. So he started out the relationship by saying he was younger. And then I remember, like, when he started introducing her to us the few times he did, he was going like, listen, he'd be like, we went to high school together, but we didn't graduate in 1987. We graduated like 1993. And we were all sitting there laughing at him, going like, dude, I can't remember all this shit. How about I don't bring up high school. I just won't bring up any years. And we basically hammered this guy forever. And then he finally came clean. And you know what, dude? He came clean and she didn't break up with him. She didn't fucking break up with them. Women are way more forgiving than men are, I think. They're capacity to forgive is much greater. So what's funny was this guy finally came clean. She freaked the fuck out, but then she forgave him, and then they stayed together, and then 6 months later, he dumped her. So I'll figure that one out. So, dude, you'll be fine. Just tell her. You got to tell her, you know? And no matter what, dude, you're going to survive. This whole fucking thing of like, oh, my God, if this person leaves me, my life's going to be, it's not going to be over, okay? And she probably won't leave you, you know? She loves you, too. You'll be fine. But, you know, just... The big thing, all you got to worry about, dude, is you just got to get this fucking lie off your chest. And you know what, dude? Then you can fucking breathe again. And, yeah, you know, it's going to be weird for a while, but, you know, it's a situation you created, and as a man, you got to fucking deal with it. All right? So good luck to you. All right.
All right. Lights, camera, dumped. Bill. I'm a 29-year-old guy and recently broke up with a funny, attractive, and all-around great girl. Oh, Jesus. Why, sir, would you do that, you ask? All right. Two things. Her dad was born without teeth, and you're worried your baby will if you breed with her, or some sort of odor. Here we go. Well, let me tell you. This girl and I have been dating for about 3 months, and we had a great thing going. She's half Afro-Cuban, half Puerto Rican, and really sexy. She had a rough upbringing, but I didn't care because she's honest, easygoing, and not bitchy like so many girls I've dated. She was a bit needy, but I didn't mind. We were out at a bar one night, having a few drinks, and I was feeling pretty good. I was looking at a couple of floozies at the end of the bar, and I asked her if she's ever been with another woman. She coyly looked at me and said, yes. Good stuff, I thought. Yeah, dude, this is a fucking fantasy right here. Fucking Red Shoe Diaries. Then I proceeded with, have you ever been in a threesome with 2 girls and a guy? Again, she answered yes. Okay, kind of slutty, but I'm no saint. Well, I couldn't stop there. Oh, God, you're going to go for the rotisserie question. What's in the box? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Strap yourselves in for this one. Well, I couldn't stop there, so I asked, have you ever had a threesome with 2 guys? She looked down at the ground, and she looked up a bit ashamedly and said, yes. Wow, skank alert, I thought. I then asked her one more question. I knew this one could backfire. Where the fuck do you go from here? Like throwing the high heat to Albert Pujols, I finally asked, wait, have you ever been in a porn? She then blushed and looked me in the eye and said, yeah. I looked at her calmly and was like, oh. But inside, I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, as well you should. You know, those first couple, I mean, you can, okay, let's break this down here. All right. She's been with, she's had a threesome with another girl and a guy. Who gives a fuck right there? All right. You already knew she banged another guy. All right. But the fact that she also did it with another girl, that takes a little fucking, that tones down his dick and her pussy, right? This is how guys think women. I'm sorry. All right. That's something in the credit. Is it the credit? Bill, why do you try to talk accounting shit? You're too dumb. All right. That one's all right. The 2 guys thing. Now, you can look the other way on that, maybe if it was in another state. But it can't be in the same state. Because if you run into one of the 2 guys that fucking, you know, were high-fiving as they fucking banged her, I mean, I don't know about that one. But then the third one, she did a porno. I mean, yeah, no, that's, you got to walk away from that. Or you have to go to NASA to get tested for the latest fucking STDs, I would think. And then also, God knows what's going on mentally, that you would do that. What? I just like sex. No. There's something going on. Who doesn't like sex? I don't know. Anyways, plowing ahead. He goes, so basically, she had moved down to Los Angeles when she was 20. She's now 25. And after a short stint in the military, somehow she got into the porn industry for 8 months. She did everything. Ooh.
Fuck, suck, the whole shebang. I asked her if I could see her video, but she wouldn't tell me her performer name and said vehemently that it would be impossible to find her body of work. I asked her why she got into porn, and she replies, because I wanted some feeling in my life. And then he writes, oh, Jesus. Yeah, dude. Oh, this poor girl. Something happened to her. The thing was, she was clean, had a good job, and I really liked her. And the sex was great. Yeah, obviously. You know what's funny? There was something you wrote in the beginning where I just thought she was going to be good. 29-year-old guy, attractive, all-around great girl. Oh, the fact that you said she had a rough upbringing, but she was easygoing and honest and not bitchy. Right there, I was like, that girl's good in bed. That just seemed like a kind of free, open person. I don't know. I didn't know she was going to be that open. Oh, Jesus. Anyways, the thing was she was clean and blah, blah. The sex was great, but I couldn't stop picturing her in some sleazy porno that was probably filmed in some junkyard on La Brea. So I went to ask for a friend's advice. Most of my guys were telling me to dump her. My gay friends told me it was fabulous and that I should overlook it. I didn't even bother asking my girlfriends because they would automatically reject her and assume I had AIDS. There you go. Keep your options open. So regretfully, I dumped her. I felt terrible and obviously didn't tell her it was because she was a porn star, because she would have been ashamed for the rest of her life, and I was happy that she was honest with me. I've done my fair share of sleaze, but this was too much. My question, Bill, was it wrong for me to dump her for some decision she made years ago? Should I have stayed with her? What would have you done? Well, you don't want to know what I would have done. I'm a fucking degenerate. So you seem like a good person. Dude, when you're trying to find the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with, you have to have a list of criteria. All right? You sound like you're still young, so there's no reason to compromise. All right? I mean, when you get with somebody like that and you're going to live with them, and when you get with anybody, you're taking on all of their fucking baggage. All right? You're only 3 months in. And, you know, people who go into the porn industry, they're, you know, it's like people become comedians. We're not healthy individuals, okay? And that is like a specific area that this is just my own personal non-medical feeling that you're just not a healthy person. Something awful happened. And that line, I just wanted to feel something. I mean, something bad happened to her, caused her to wall herself off. I don't even want to try to guess what, but, you know, there's nothing wrong with anything that she did, technically, and she was honest with it. It all comes down to whether or not you want to deal with it. All right? And if you feel that, you know, you want to deal with it and that there was this sort of connection that you just this girl had to be in your life, then you're going to have to learn to live with it and get past it. But I would definitely be concerned with certain mental issues. Not like she's insane. And then I would also be concerned with sexual boundaries. You know? Like, would she have any? And could she remain faithful after a while? And when you settle into the 7-year itch or whatever, and you really start needing to work at the relationship and it's feeling boring and she needs to feel something again, is she going to go back to that leather couch from that show, Martin, you know, down on in the valley and get banged again? I mean, I don't know. That is, you know what? That is beyond my skills. I don't know how to tame that horse. I can tell you that right fucking now. I have no fucking clue. That's you know what? That's a Dr. Drew question. That is a classic Dr. Drew question, and that guy within 2 seconds will get right to the core of it. I would call in Loveline, man, if you're out here. Call him up, because that's a great one. Yeah, I guess you'd have to figure out has she worked through whatever the fuck she was working through, and now she's ready to. I mean, I don't know. Hey, those are some good-looking girls down there, and she's like, yeah, they are, or whatever. Like, I mean, if you kept steering it in that direction, you'd probably get your fucking threesome right there. So there's that option. The option that you have is if you're with her, like I think you. I mean, that's a selfish fucking and a shallow reason to stay with somebody long term. Yeah, Jesus, I don't know. Great fucking emails, by the way, everybody. I hope I didn't piss you guys off too much by fucking trashing all that metal shit. You know, I have half those T-shirts, and I went to go see that. I was just embarrassed by some of that shit that I used to listen to. Oh, Jesus, right up until I was like 20, 21. Fucking brutal. What redeemable thing did I have? I did listen to the Beatles, the Doors, the Stones, all that white boy shit. Stevie Ray Vaughan. I did listen to Hendrix. I listened to all the big band swing through my dad, shit from the 50s. I had such a weird musical upbringing anyways, which was actually good because it was kind of all over the map. I started hanging out with Patrice back in the day. Patrice was the one, rest his soul, got me the... I still remember when he got in that same piece of shit truck that I went to the AC/DC concert in. 7 fucking years later, I'm still driving it, right? Making the sacrifices. Remember that? I told you, you don't get some fucking job and go out and buy a fucking new car. You just change yourself to your cubicle. I always kept I put a new engine in the fucking truck. Had somebody slap that in there for $1,200, pay that down rather than $12,000 for a new car like it was back then. So anyways, I still remember swinging by, picking Patrice up and going into Nick's, and he had the cassette tape of Ready to Die, and him putting that in, telling me that this guy was going to be the next guy. And then through all of that, like he cured me of all the rap that a white kid liked who lived in a cul-de-sac. And he showed me all of that shit. So I had that whole background. All that stuff fucking held up. But the fucking metal that I listened to. I even watched like Lawrence Welk when I was a kid. One of the creepiest shows ever. Even that was fucking thrown in there. All right. Masturbating or cheating. Hey, Bill Burrington. Burrington Raincoat Factory. Burlington Coat Factory. I got it. Oh, Burlington. You did have the L in there. I couldn't see it. Hey, Billy Burlington Coat Factory. Raincoat Factory. For your love of raincoats over umbrellas. Oh, I love a raincoat. I live in Florida, and to me, a man who uses either is a little limp-wristed. Oh, yeah? You got those steel balls hanging off the back of your truck. But that is an old-school guy thing, that if you actually dress for the weather, that makes you a pussy. You always have to act like it's a nice spring day. But moving on to ask your advice. I've been with my fiance for 8 years now, and even before dating, I had become bored with regularly watching porn online, masturbation. So one day, 10 years ago, I discovered online dating sites, oh boy, and started to talk to women I met online, on the phone. Sorry. And it would eventually, what the hell is it? Led to phone sex. Ever since then, masturbating by myself is uninteresting and unfulfilling. I've continued this practice since being exclusive with my current fiance and was wondering if it's considered cheating. That's always an easy question. If you told her you were doing this, how would she react? I never used my real name and haven't updated my pics since initially signing up 10 years ago and never met any of the women offline. I use them for phone sex as long as possible, and then when they want to move things further along, I stop speaking to them. I've never cheated on any previous girlfriends in my life and was wondering your thoughts on this. Thanks in advance. P.S. I love the podcast and go fuck yourself. Yeah, talk to a therapist. Talk to a therapist. One of the problems that has developed in this age of technology is, you're addicted to phone sex. And I had like a porn addiction that I finally realized, hey, I'm fucking doing this all the time.
This is how you know you're addicted to porn. If you try to jerk off with just your thoughts and you can't make it happen, you got a fucking problem that needs to be addressed. So I would talk to a professional and just say you have a problem, and I would nip this in the bud. Is that how you say it? I always forget, butt or bud. Nip it in the bud and just fucking handle this shit before you get married. Because living a life like that is going to wear on you, and you're going to feel like a piece of shit. So I wouldn't do that. I mean, how would you like it if she was doing that? Would you consider that not cheating? You know, of course you would. What you're doing is wrong. So I would go to a therapist and talk to them, and they will fucking help it out. And you don't need to be embarrassed. They have heard every fucking thing in the world. And what you have here is like a misdemeanor compared to what the fuck they hear every goddamn day. And they'll help you through it, and you'll be back to being a really sort of a normal person. Because this whole fucking thing, jerking off using technology, is if you really think about it, goes against the laws of nature, because it did not exist for 99% of the time that human beings have been on Earth. And I feel like we are all the lab rats of it right now. And I feel like in the future, people are going to be way more careful about what they watch, way more careful about everything, and way more like monitoring it. Where back in the day, you know, you had a bottle of scotch in the bottom fucking desk drawer. You know, I was Mary Tyler Moore. She'd come in, oh, Mr. Grant. She'd be all upset, and he'd fucking pour her a drink. He did that today, that'd be the end of your fucking career. So, you know, this shit is just sort of like, you know, when cocaine first came out, doctors said it was no more addicting than caffeine, and then a bunch of people ruined their lives over it. So don't ruin your life over this. You got a great person that you want to marry. You owe it to them and yourself. Go to a therapist, work it out. I think you'll be fine. All right. Advice on divorced parents. All right. New father, bad relationship. Dear Bill, what the fuck do I do? Oh, wait. Are you asking me advice? Oh, shit. It's time for me to play my jingle. Where is it? One of these days I'm going to get organized. Come on.
It's time for advice.
Hey!
Your host, Billy Burr.
That's me.
And I'm ripping off this melody from somebody else.
There you go. All right. You have a question? If you have a question, people, I will give you an answer. Okay? I will give you. I mean, I don't have the answer, but I'll give you one. If you want advice, I'll say something. I will move my jaw and make sounds in your directions. All right? Direction. All right. What the fuck do I do, man? He's like that dude in Platoon. I got a bad feeling. My girlfriend keeps pressuring me into marrying her. We have a 7-month-old babe. Jesus fucking Christ. Dude, you are married for the next 20 fucking years. We have a 7-month-old baby girl together, and I feel like if we didn't have her, we probably wouldn't be together now. My daughter is my world. Wow. From time to time, I get hit with this wave of, fuck, I want to leave her. I do love her, but I feel like we're too much different from one another. Her fucking family is so involved. They're great, but it's fucking annoying. All right. If you do love her and you do have a kid, at some point you got to put your kid, you know, I don't know, dude. I've never been in this situation, thank God. But, you know, I would sit down. You got to talk this out. I mean, I would talk to a therapist, because the fact that you still want to leave, you got to figure out why. Do you want to leave because you love her just because you stayed with her long enough that you love her like a friend, or do you love her? But you already have a Mr. Lover. You have a fucking kid. So I would talk to a professional about this. But as far as the family, you just got to set up some boundaries, which involves you really thinking about what you want to say, and then sit down and have a talk if somebody's, crossing the line there. Weaving over the double line, as they say there. The other day, my girl was bitching about her having to be at home with the baby all the time while I work 6 days a week and long hours. Well, get used to that, pal. It's always about them. She says that she feels like a slave. I know, like you're out there fucking, It's like, I'm out there fucking working, feeding all of you. Okay? We had a kid. You think I want to work 6 days a week? I don't want to work 6 days a week the way you don't want to fucking stay home the whole fucking time. You know, but trying to get them to understand that's a 90-degree fucking grade hill, which is a cliff, buddy, and it's got ice on the face. I'm like, what the fuck? How all you have to do is clean occasionally and cook occasionally. It's not like I'm forcing her to clean and cook and take care of shit. Sometimes she doesn't feel like it, and I don't care because I understand she's feeling tired from taking care of our baby. All right, so you got some empathy there. I will tell you, having a baby, I mean, that's all-encompassing. It's not like when they go to sleep, you have all this energy. You know, you sleep when they sleep. When I move, you move. Just like that, right? Ludicrous. When they sleep, you sleep, right? She also, dude, like a lot of things that women say during this time, they're just overly tired. They're overly emotional. You know what I mean? Their hormones, whatever fucking excuses they have. And what you have to do is your job is to push down that everything that you're feeling, okay, and slowly inch your way towards your first heart attack at 58. I got some shit to say on this one, but let's just plow through here. Then she says, we're not even married, and I'm like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? It has to do with like her fucking the end of The Price is Right. You know, is she going to win the showcase? Is she going to get both showcases? She needs to know what's going to happen. Anyways, I fucking work and you take care of home seems fair to me, and I pay all the bills. She occasionally helps and is willing if I ask, but I prefer to take care of it. Yeah, that's it. I'm earning money to keep the lights on and food on the table and a roof over our head, and you're taking care of the kid. We're parents. This is it. This is this fucking bill of goods that corporations sold women that you can actually have it all. Is a lie, and they just wanted you to keep spending and feeling like you needed more. I mean, you guys are together and you have a beautiful daughter, and that's your world. You don't need anything else. But what about that Cuisinart? Like she gets to have fun. Like she gets to have fun still. She gets to hang out with her family, go swimming or whatever. You guys have a pool? That's fucking amazing. I can never do shit because I have only one day off, and on my off day, I fucking run errands. Oh, Jesus, dude. I know, and nobody cares. And do whatever dumb shit she wants to do. This is it, dude. This is welcome. This is being a dad. This kind of bitching occurs time to time, and I'm tired of it. She's always bitching, saying I don't share emotion or spend time with her. Well, you're going to have to work on that. There's ways of just acting like you're doing it, and they'll believe it. Just make an effort. I'm the worst, dude. Don't listen to me. If I'm not at work, I'm with her. I even do the laundry alone at the laundromat. I wash, dry, and fold while she stays home on my day off. Okay, but you have a pool, but you don't have a laundry. So I think you have a pool at your apartment, or there's a town pool she goes to. But still, a pool is the shit. I wash, dry, and if it's not yours, you don't have to take care of it, that's even better. I wash, dry, and fold while she stays home on my day off. She just wants to bitch. She keeps pressuring me to marry her, and it makes me just want to run. But now that we have a baby, I'm scared that if we don't last, how it'll affect our daughter. Yeah, you should be thinking of your daughter first. I'm not even attracted to her the way I used to be. I don't know what to do. Well, yeah, I mean, if somebody's bitching at you all the time and you're that fucking tired, you just, you fail to see who they were. This is something that could help you guys. If there's someone in a really involved family could watch the baby for a day or two, you take a day off from work and you guys just get away and maybe, remember again why you guys liked each other in the first place, because that's been great for me in my life. But I will tell you this. This is something that as a man, you have to just suck up
and understand is that the male-female relationship is all about the woman. All right? That's what it is. And as much as they say they want to hear from you and they want to know what you're thinking, it's about them. Always. Them and their emotions comes first. It comes before the kids. You know, that's if they're not happy, no one gets to be happy. There's no, hey, the kids are here. It's just how it's how they're wired. All right? They can also make a baby. So there's that. So you got to focus on the positive. But and here's the thing. As the guy, you're going to be doing all of this shit. Working your ass off. You're going to die before she does. And none of it is going to be acknowledged. Okay? And if you want a little credit, you're being fucking selfish. Okay? And that's basic. I'm speaking in generalities, but that is essentially what goes on there. All right? So you're just going to have to suck it up and occasionally go out and get some beers with other guys that you know who are dads who are in the same situations. And you'll exchange stories. And at first, you're going to be a little pissed. And then you're just going to start laughing. It's why guys are so funny. It's because of the situations that we end up in. And like having a kid is really difficult. And, you know, both people's lives have to adjust because you have the kid. But one person, it is acknowledged. You know, it's constantly acknowledged what a woman goes through during pregnancy, the importance of the role of a mother, and blah, 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 and all that stuff. And for guys, it's basically like, hey, fucking stick around. They need you. All right? Don't be afraid to do the laundry and cook and clean and fucking all of this other shit. So, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, buddy. I would do what you need. I think you need to work on your relationship, and I'm not putting this on you, but I think you need to try to communicate to her how you're feeling. And this is a very tricky thing because you could marry her and she could become even more of a fucking nightmare. Or you could marry her and that could have been the issue, and then she can fucking settle down. Because maybe she's getting pressure from her family that, you know, that they had, a kid. She had a kid out of wedlock. I don't know how religious her. It might be that, you know. But I can tell you this: trying to make somebody else happy is not something that you can do. It's impossible. So what you have to do is, you know, look out for yourself. So I would talk to a therapist about what the fuck is going on. And I would not marry her until you feel like that's what you want to do. Okay? And, you know, when you sit down with her, you can tell her about the pressure that you're underneath. And I would stop short of saying, you know, you bitching at me all the fucking time. Why the hell would I marry you? That's what you say to your guy friend at the bar. But as someone who was fucking had to be dragged kicking and screaming. I got married so late in life. I wish I did it a lot younger. And I love being married, despite all this shit that I'm saying. There are certain things. Like there's, you know, my wife would come on here and do fucking 9 hours with no guest about what a fucking asshole I am to live with. So I'm not trying to make my wife out to be the bad guy. I will just say that in general, nobody gives a shit about the guy in the relationship. It's just what it is. It's just how it is. It's just how it is, okay? And you got to accept that for your daughter, okay? And the fact that you have to man up. You did have a kid with this person, and you need to do everything that you can do, you know, to make sure that kid has the best childhood. So I would try the best you possibly can to make this thing work, which means you have to try and communicate with, you know, this woman about how you're feeling. And hopefully she's a cool chick and will actually listen. All right? Rather than making everything about herself and start fucking crying, and then you're consoling her because she's been a douche to you. Oh boy. All right, let's get off this subject. All right. But I have tremendous amount of issues with women. So, take it all with a grain of salt. But I would talk to a professional rather than some fucking idiot.
All right. Oh, Jesus, I thought that horn was going to go on forever. Should I dump her? Dear Barbarossa. The fuck does that mean? And hopefully Nia, too. I'm in a fucked up situation right now. I've been dating this chick for the past 6 months, and it's been going fine and dandy until a few days ago. We were at the house having crazy sex, but just as she was about to climax, she kind of yelled her ex's name. That did not happen. I'm calling bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. Dude, that's hilarious. That is fucking... Not only would I have laughed, I would have kept fucking her until she was done. I'd just be like, hey, look, I understand. Sorry, I'm getting on a cough drop here. I understand, You're not ready. You're not ready to get into a relationship, but you're ready to fuck somebody else. That sounds like a perfect situation for me. I don't give a fuck. Yell out anybody's name you want to. I'll ghostwrite this fucking... Sorry. Jesus Christ. Anyways. He goes on to say, I was dressed up and just left, and we haven't talked since. Now, I know for a fact that she can't be cheating on me because her ex is dead. He died like 2 years ago when they were still together. My rational side is telling me that and should just forgive her, but my instincts are telling me, fuck that. What should I do? Best regards from Italy. Oh, first of all, I had a great time when I was in Italy, went to Rome. I can't wait to come back. I know Rome is kind of like the basic place you go when you first went there, but it's the first place I ever went. I wanted to see the Colosseum. Where else should I go? Milan, Florence, Venice. Where should I go? Person from Italy or anybody from Italy listening, let me know where I should go. But getting back to your question, should you move on? Absolutely. You should always listen to your instincts. They're always right. Or there's a reason. There's a reason. I mean, dude, your rational side is telling you should forgive her. There's nothing rational about that. Let me ask you this, dude. If you were banging her, let's just say her name was Maria, right? And right as you came, you went, oh, Antonella. What the fuck would she do? Do you think she'd be back with you? Would you even question her if she didn't get back with you? You'd totally agree with it. If she actually got back to you with you after you did that, wouldn't you be sitting there going, what the fuck is wrong with this person? How low is your self-esteem that you're going to put up with that? And if you have low self-esteem to that level, how many... sorry. That's how guys think. Yeah, dude, no. And she obviously loved the guy. I feel bad for her, and so should you, but you shouldn't get your heart mixed up in that shit. All right? That's what I would do. Yeah, and in a very nice way, I would just say, I just don't think you're ready to be in a relationship. And no matter what she says, you just hold her to the fact that you called out your dead boyfriend's name. There's really no... you should just stop talking and come in for the hug right now. And I will not let go till you tell me to. Sorry. I'll make love until you say somebody else's name. All right, let's plow ahead here. I'll tell you one last story. I did a benefit this weekend for Alzheimer's. Now, the jokey guy at the office would be like, for what? Alzheimer's. For what? You see what I did there? You know that guy? Whenever you say, yeah, my grandmother's hard of hearing, he goes, what? You get it? Fucking joke book Larry. I fucking hate people who do that. Unless you're doing it because you know I hate it. Then I love you. Then that's funny.
Hey, Bill. Huge fan. Love your comedy. Hope this won't get too long. It starts with one of my good friends going out with this girl. They went out for about right off the bat, can't you tell where this is going? This story starts with one of my good friends going out with this girl. They went out for about a year or two on and off. Come on, Bill, focus here. Just try to read this smoothly, all right? Start over. It starts with one of my good friends going out with this girl. They went out for about a year or two on and off. Still, though, even when they were together, they were never really good, in quotes. Here we go. They fought basically all the time and just didn't seem right for each other. Oh, Jesus. You know where this is going. During the early stages of their relationship, my friend thought I had a thing for her. Oh, Jesus. She is a good-looking girl. She is a good-looking girl, and I was friends with her before they even got together. Dude, you are so justifying what the fuck you either did or are about ready to do. I love it. They weren't really good for each other. Even when they were together, there was something missing. I actually knew her before he did. Here we go. She is a good-looking girl, and I was friends with her before they were even together. I admit, I might have inadvertently been a little flirty with her sometimes. Oh, I'm sorry. Was I just flirting there? Dude, you have a future at BP. The next time they pollute an entire gulf of a nation that they're not even citizens of, and they need to bring somebody out to stand behind the podium. Dude, this is fucking great. I might have inadvertently been a little flirty with her. How the fuck do you even do that? How do you inadvertently flirt with somebody? Wow, you really look beautiful in that dress. I'll tell you, if you were my girlfriend, I mean, where the fuck do you go with? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, that's right. You're not my girlfriend. I'm sorry. I thought you were my girlfriend for a second. What was I thinking? Jesus Christ, I'm so embarrassed. My face turning red? Oh, my God. I was just inadvertently flirting with you right then. Oh, Jesus. Here we go. And he goes, this is what he says. I might have inadvertently been a little flirty with her sometimes, but that shit always happens with a guy and a girl, I think. Dude, the level of guilt just weighing you down as you're trying to justify all of this. Either way, I told him I didn't like her, which was true. Dude, stop lying to yourself. Anyways, it passed. However, I always got this feeling that there was still an undertone that he resented me since then. Yeah, probably because of all the inadvertent flirting and the fact that you were emoting that they weren't right for each other. But anyways, let's fast forward, as he says. Fast forward now. They've been broken up for at least a year and don't talk. She says he randomly texts her. Jesus Christ, I can't even fucking read. She says he randomly texts her, but that she doesn't ever answer him. But regardless of that, now this girl likes me. What? Oh my God, I didn't see that coming. Wait a minute. Anyways, but she actually likes me and basically says she wants to fuck. My voice just cracked in the perfect... Says she wants to fuck. Am I getting excited? I need some more throat coat here. And basically says she wants to fuck. She tells me stuff like she wishes she went out with me instead of him to begin with. Now, I do all right with girls, but I don't have them lining up or anything. So I'm not trying to let a virtual sure thing pass me by. Oh, my God. And this is when it's getting Jerry Springer here. With most guys, I'd feel like they'd not care if I went for it, or at least understand why I did. Do you realize what you're saying? I think most guys wouldn't care if their best friend went out and banged their fucking ex-girlfriend within a year of them going out. I think that they'd understand. So anyways, he goes, I think most guys wouldn't understand, but this buddy of mine is a little nuts. And it's also a situation where he's the type of guy that if he were in my position, he'd do the same thing. Ah, dude, you're just justifying. You don't even need my advice. You're going to do it. My other friend who knows the whole situation says I should, but others I've talked to about it say I shouldn't. The last I talked to her, she said she wanted to hang out. Just me and her, and that I should let her know when I want to. All right, I guess this thing's getting kind of long. I have one question. Do I have any justification in fucking this girl? And 2, if I do, would you say I should go through with it? Okay. All right, sir. There's just a ton of shit going on here. Okay, right off the bat, you have to be honest with yourself, all right? You weren't inadvertently flirting with this girl. You actually probably liked this girl before this guy even got with her. Or maybe the fact that the guy, your friend, got with her and he was banging her made you all of a sudden interested in her. See, I don't know you as a person. You could be a very sadistic human being. Actually, I'm going to go on a limb and say you're not, because the fact that you actually give a fuck enough to write me and ask whether you should do this, that means you actually have some sort of guilt about it. So you won't get off on banging your fucking best friend's ex-girlfriend. Dude, there's a lot of shit here that could blow up in your face. Okay? In a perfect world, all right, you're a man and you say, you know what? That's not going to be worth the blowback. It's not going to be worth the fucking damage that I'm going to do. This guy's my best friend. Even though he would do it to me, I'm not going to do it to him. And then I also need to stop being friends with this guy, because anybody who would go out and fuck my ex-girlfriend within a year is not truly a friend. I need to get better friends. But despite all that, I'm still not going to do what the fuck he would have done just because he would have done it to me. And you just walk away from the situation and you go out and you chat up some other fucking broads. That is like, if you want to be knighted someday by one of those fucking broads over there in the castle in England, you know, if you want to go over there with Sir Phil Collins looking on and get knighted, that's what the fuck you do. But if you're going to bang this broad, you've already fucked up. Okay? Fucking your best friend's ex-girlfriend, it's like committing a murder. You want as few people involved as humanly possible. I learned that on an episode of Uninformed when we had a cop come in. And me and my co-host, Joe DeRosa, were saying that... we were trying to come up with how to commit the perfect murder. And I remember I said, okay, I'd get me and a buddy of mine. He goes, right there, you fucked up. Right there, you fucked up. He goes, the more people you bring in, the bigger chance you have of getting caught, you know? Because you're not going to rat yourself out, but the other guy, if he gets scared, might go down to the police station and try to cop a plea. All right? That's the same shit with this. If you're going to fuck your best friend's ex-girlfriend, you don't go around and ask other friends going, dude, should I do it? You don't. And you already did. All right? And then the other side of it is, I don't know how the two of these people broke up, but, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. And for all you know, this chick might be a fucking psycho. All right? I mean, I think it's a good thing that he's texting her and not the other way around. And that she is not texting him back. Granted, you're taking her word for it, that that's what the situation is. Now, for all you know, it's the reverse. And if it is the reverse, she wants some sort of vengeance, which means she goes out and bangs his best friend. And then, lo and behold, feels guilty the next day and then has to tell him. All right? Just to let you know, that is on the fucking table. If you really want to know whether or not you want to if you want to fucking, I get ahead of myself here. If you want to fuck this girl or not, just go jerk off to her. And after you're done, if you still want to bang her, you want to bang her. And then just fucking man up and deal with the fucking consequences of it. And go out and bang her, because who gives a fuck, because someday you're going to be 80. And who gives a shit? You know? Or on the other side, if you actually have feelings for this girl, that's a whole, then you should definitely do it. If you actually feel like this girl could be the girl that you're going to spend your life with, then I would definitely say go for it, knowing full well that your friendship with this other guy is going to end. I I don't know. So, dude, you know what? It's fucking on you. You know, if you ask me, would I do it? Yeah, I would have. Back in the day, I would have. But now that I'm an older, wiser man, I wouldn't. I would just fucking rub one out to her and then be afterwards going, oh, thank God I didn't fucking do that. Here's a good one. Should I kick my neighbor's ass?
Yes.
Yes. Generally speaking,
We're going to
yes.
go with yes.
Hey, Bill, love the
Is
podcast.
that what time it is?
No,
Damn.
that's East Coast.
Oh, okay.
That's why people bitch. Where the fuck is the podcast? I need some advice on what to do about this guy who lives in a few houses down from me. I'm a third-year college student, and I live at home. My parents moved to go live in the state above mine. You mean north? And I currently reside alone while they are trying to sell the house. A few months ago, I was driving home coming back from a gym, and while I was driving in my neighborhood, I saw this guy step in the middle of the road about 20 yards from my car. He was yelling something at me, but I couldn't hear what he was saying. I slowed down and stopped my car right in front of him, and he came to my window and told me to get out. I was totally confused and thought I ran over his cat or something. Also, I think he just moved in because I'd never seen the dude in my life. So I rolled down the window and asked, "What did you say?" He goes, "I'm going to kick your fucking ass. Get out of the car." This guy's probably in his 40s and has to be around 5'10". Is this me? 250 pounds. That's not me. No. I'm 21, 6'3", 200. I do CrossFit and I wrestle occasionally at another gym I go to. So I get out of the car and I'm standing there trying to figure out what the hell is going on. The guy starts moving towards me, so I take the initiative and take a step towards him. We end up being an inch from each other, and he's trying to do some alpha male shit by just staring at me. But I have the height advantage, so I'm looking down at him. At least 10 seconds go by before the guy goes, "How fast do you think you were going back there?" I say, "I don't know, probably around 30. The speed limit in my neighborhood is 20, and I know I wasn't going that much over it. Then he goes, "I'm not going to have my children playing in the yard if I know assholes like you are driving like that in the neighborhood." After he said that, I saw his wife and son were a little off to the side of the road. Once the word asshole left his mouth, I was fucking pissed. I wanted to just tackle the dick and put him to sleep in front of his wife and kid to teach him a lesson. But I pussied out and just apologized to him and said that I was really sorry and it wouldn't happen again. The guy then gives me a fucking little smirk and turns around and says, while walking away with his back turned, "It better not, or you know what will happen."
Oh, yeah.
I gotta fucking walk
Yeah.
away.
You definitely should have kicked his ass.
Fucking cunt.
You should have kicked his ass. Yeah.
What a fuck. Do you realize?
Yeah.
Do you realize what this kid did? He's such a fucking gentleman. He could have kicked the fucking shit out of this
Yeah.
guy. He saw his wife and kid there. It would have been emasculating. His
Yep.
dad is Superman. He sits there. You know what it is? It's that little smirk.
Yeah.
That fucking smirk. I bet that cunt steals from work.
Yeah.
I bet he does. Sorry, dude. That's the first time. I literally had to walk away. You fucking cunt.
Yeah. You should have kicked that guy's ass. But it's a good,
You know,
I suppose it's good that you didn't do it, but because you were
this
the
is-
bigger person, as they say, but he definitely has it coming.
Then he writes, "Now after that shit, I wanted to explode. I mean, the guy totally disrespected me, so I get in my car and drive off. End of the story? Wrong. I couldn't get this fucking guy out of my head. Dude, I can't get it out of my head. I'm going to actually fantasize that I was there and he did that, what I would want to do. You know what I would fucking do? I would wait till he was alone. Don't do this shit. Don't do this. But I know what you just want to get the guy alone and be like, "Hey, what are you going to do now? Huh? What are you going to do now?" And just get right in his fucking grill and have him back down.
Yeah.
Or I would almost just say to the guy, say, "Hey, listen, man, just call him over to the car and just say, listen, I just wanted you to know the other day that if I wanted to, I could have fucking stuffed you in my trunk, tied you up like a fucking pretzel, and ass raped you in front of your fucking wife. But I chose not to, okay? Because I didn't want your son to know what a little fucking I can't say it. Pussy
Yeah.
he has for it. That wouldn't have been homophobic either. I wouldn't even be talking about gay people. That's such a fucking pussy move. Yeah. And if for some reason, but I'm no, then that's what you say. Maybe you do it like Columbo. Just say, "Listen, man, I got to ask you something. Because I'm 6'3", I CrossFit, I wrestle, okay?
and just looking at you, I know I could tie you into a pretzel. I know I could do it if I wanted to. But the confidence you had, I just want to know what is your background? You know? Because, I'm a real competitive guy. If you got some sort of martial arts training, I would love to have you. Why don't you come down to the gym sometime when your wife and kid aren't there so I don't have to feel guilty when I fuck you up and close both your eyes with this one and his friend over here.
What does the rest of the thing say?
I don't even need to read it.
But it's not over, though.
I know, because what's happening now, this is what happens when you do the right thing in life, okay? When, it eats away at you. You have to make peace. You have to make peace, and you got to tell yourself the lie that someday this guy's going to get his. And you know what? He doesn't. Guys like this don't get theirs. Oh, that smirk. This kid really painted a fucking picture. This is driving me nuts. He goes, I couldn't get this guy out of my head. A week went by, and I was still thinking about that asshole. Dude, I would think about this guy 20 years from now. 2 weeks later, I was driving home from school, and I see the guy rolling his garbage can out to the curb. I slow down to fucking under 20. And I know this because I look down at my speedometer. I pretend to stare the guy down, so I look at him, and he looks at me and yells, slow down! Wow. Now, when he said that, I am fucking raging. I wanted to stop my car and do some ground and pound on his face. Yeah, this kid knows what he's doing. This isn't wrestling. Like, this kid's doing UFC shit. But did I? No. I just drove off like a fag. The next day I talked to my friend about it, about what had happened, and he said that this guy said the same shit to him. If he said it, he would have put him on his ass. I know. Dude, you know what I would have done? He told me that if he says he's going to kick your ass, then that's a threat so you can defend yourself. Don't listen to your dumb friend. He's saying you won't get arrested. So a few months have passed, and I'm still thinking about this asshole every time I drive by his house. Fast forward to yesterday, and I'm biking in my neighborhood, listen to an IHOP, and I hear a honk from behind me. So I pull my bike over to the side of the road, and it's none other than the same dude in his Ford F-150 driving along, and he looks at me and gives me the middle fucking finger.
Wow.
Now, granted, I was in the middle of the road and didn't hear the guy coming because I was listening to music, but still the middle finger. So I bike home, take a shower, and try to convince myself to walk over to the dude's house and confront him. But after a couple minutes of pacing, I just decide to wait it out until the asshole does one more thing. I mean, I don't want to get arrested. So my question is, what the hell should I do? I mean, every time I drive by this guy's house now, I want to fucking veer off the road and ram my car into the middle of his living room. Any advice would be good. All of my friends think I should go over there, but I want a second opinion. You can't do anything to this guy.
Unless he puts his hands on you
Unless he
first.
puts his hands on you. This is
can't
just
do
one of these
anything.
things. But you can do to him what he's doing to you. This guy has an insane temper. So, I'm not advocating legally so you don't do this, but like... I don't know what I would next time, if you see him out in the yard or something, this is what you do. I have a great idea. Do you have any friends who are really good mechanically? Why don't you take your credit card out, go down to the fucking auto store or whatever, or go online and buy like one of those fucking train horns and have it installed in your car. And next time you drive down the street, just be sort of zigzagging down the street just to get this guy to be fucking... getting all like, oh, what the fuck? And the second he starts screaming, you lay on that fucking horn as loud as humanly possible and you blow out his eardrums. That's what I would. But then again, knowing a douche like this, he would say that I have permanent hearing damage.
You know what I think you should do? Maybe because I'm a female and I'm all about
revenge. Okay.
Psychological warfare.
What should he do?
I think when the husband is not home, I don't know if he knows his schedule or whatever, he needs to go over there when the wife is at home and be like, listen, I'm so sorry about that time that I was speeding. I really, but your husband seems really upset. I'm really not trying to be like that. I would never do anything like that. And women are like, oh, no, because she knows her husband is a psycho. Right. And she could turn around and be like, yeah, you shouldn't do that either. But I have a feeling she's not like that. And he can just go over and just make nice and be like the sweet kid that's helping out. And, oh, do you need me to take the barrels out?
He needs vengeance, Nia.
But then I feel like maybe that would fuck with the husband. And he's like sitting there sipping tea with the wife. And, oh, look who came over. He just wanted to apologize in person. And, I I don't know.
You know what's a great thing to do?
And then fuck the wife.
There you go. No. He should fuck his wife. He should fuck his wife.
He should play with his kid in the backyard, like toss the football around with him. Be more
No,
like
that's
the big
thing.
brother
You
he never
can't.
had.
You can't do. There's nothing like just start giving him the finger. Listen, this is the deal. All you got to do is just give him the finger. Give him the finger right back. Because this guy thinks you're a bitch right now. So all you got to do is, you can just yell back. Just say, just give him the finger, yell back at him. When he's in the driveway, I would swerve at him and then swerve back. Just fuck with the guy. He's not, just do that once because the next time you might have a video camera. But I just don't want to get any. I don't get any. You know what? If I was in that situation, dude, you know what I would do?
Yeah. Monday morning quarterback.
Look, I was in that situation with that other guy, right?
Yeah.
At the last place we lived, and I didn't fuck with him because he was an old guy. I just didn't fuck with him. And now we found out he has dementia and all this shit. So I'm psyched. I never yelled at the guy. You know what you do now? You know what really diffuses angry guys like that or makes them even more angry is just laugh at them. Just keep laughing at him. Laugh at him, give him the finger, and just keep calling him tough guy. All right there, tough guy. Anything, you just keep calling him anything that is remotely, all right there, Chuck Norris. Anything you want to say to this guy that will bait him into hitting you. This is this is a great question, and I don't want to get in trouble if some shit goes down. So you shouldn't do anything, sir. Wink, wink, wink. This guy's such a dick. I always say, fucking with somebody's car is like a pussy move, but this guy's such a dick, and he has such a. Oh my God, dude! How many times have you thought about just choke slamming that guy right into the hood of your car repeatedly?
When you
as
said
his wife
I
and
can
son
stuff you
cry.
into my trunk, bend you like a pretzel, and ass rape you in front of your wife.
No, but if you just said it really calmly, if you said it calmly with sort of a smile on your face, you come off like a fucking maniac.
Yeah, that's true.
If you scream that at somebody, you just sound like you're quoting Hulk Hogan or something, right?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, brother. Come this Saturday. I'm going to bend you into a pretzel and ass rape you.
All right, here we go. Follow up from the Monday morning pod. Follow up from Monday about reuniting with the estranged father. All right, here we go. We're going back. This is a two-parter. All right, dear Bill, I'm a huge Scottish lady fan. I don't miss the way I said that. It made it seem like she was fat. I'm a huge Scottish lady fan. I don't miss an episode of you on or off camera, and recently saw you in Glasgow. Thank you for fulfilling a bucket list gig for me by coming back to Scotland. I love Scotland. I wanted to reply to the lady wondering whether to get in touch with her estranged father on her podcast from Monday, August 26th. All right. She said, please don't do it. You'd be putting his needs before your own. You've got on with your life this far without him and do not need that negativity in your life. Yeah, this is the guy who now, because he's going to die and he feels guilty, is what it seemed like to me. He wanted to reach out. I have a similar situation with my mother. She's always put her men before myself and my siblings, and her most recent husband was abusive to us. As a result, we have all walked away from her and have gone on to lead happier lives. We were given a small fright a couple years ago when we were misinformed she had passed away. We wondered if the shock was a wake-up call and should we make amends. Then we recovered and truly realized we could never take the chance in accepting this manipulative, horrible woman back into our lives. Oh, what, did she fake her death or something? Her husband is now deceased, and she has since tried to go into my brother's place of work to try and bump into him. All such attempts from her will be knocked back. She's not a nice person, was a terrible mother, especially if there was a man in her life, and we do not want her in our lives and will continue to live happily without her. All right, in defense of the woman wanting to see her dad possibly, you haven't given any reason why all you're doing is talking about you're superimposing your experience, which Everybody's different, but I guess that's all you can go with is what you know. Therefore, please, please, please do not grant your father's wishes. He could live for many years and poison those years of your life. Walk away. You'll be so much happier for it. You can choose your friends and not your family. I have many friends I now consider my family, which I am sure you do too, and I do not missing having a mother in the slightest. Hope this helps. XXXXX, please, best regards. Yeah, I think it all comes down to, your own decision. One of my favorite opinions on that was the joke that Joe DeRosa had, where Joe was talking about being adopted. And he goes, people always come up to me and go, do you ever do you ever want to go meet your real parents? Do you ever have a desire? Do you ever want to go, see where they are? You ever want to do that? And he just goes, no. I kind of took the hint when they abandoned me. Joe DeRosa. Joe DeRosa, ladies and gentlemen, Joe DeRosa. He actually recently was on Bobby Kelly's podcast, and I saw a clip of that on Instagram. And it was fucking hilarious. Bob was trying to get him to say this super positive mantra, which Joe did, repeated a number of times before. Joe went Joe. Brought some reality into it. All right. A woman my height. All right. Is this a woman, my height? Or a woman my height? All right. Dear Mr. Burr, saw you at the Bon Scott gig at the start of the pandemic. That's the last gig I did. That's the last time I did stand-up. And really understood how a world-class comic does it. Thanks for the laughs. Yeah, I had fun. Thank God I had a good set. Anyway, he goes, I'm a 6'3", 235-pound man. Oh, there you go. Playoffs, Stanley Cup size right there. That man will keep things settled down on the ice there. And have dated or hooked up with women with heights ranging from 5'3" to 5'9". I've also hooked up with one or two women who were 5'11". I've recently met an incredible seeming woman on a dating app. We've spoken over the phone, message a lot, and are getting along wonderfully. Okay, where could this go wrong? We're being hesitant on hanging out because of the pandemic, but might do a sort of social distance date if we both test negative. My wife, my smoking hot wife, was actually saying the other day, she said, is the COVID test the new AIDS test? Because back in the day when we were coming out, that was a big thing. Have you been tested? All right. Judging by her photos and her social media accounts, she's plenty beautiful. The only thing is she's 6'2". I'm open to trying something different and even excited by the idea. Yeah, who the fuck would want a giant woman? That'd be fucking great. I wouldn't have a problem with that. But I'm worried that I might do or say something that is rude to her unique life experience. I'm also a bit nervous because all of my cool guy moves and swagger have been in some way shaped by the fact that I typically tower over girls. Sir, this is great. This is a great thing. She's going to get you outside your comfort zone before all you women start fucking chirping. Like you don't have a type either, okay? Like you don't have your little safety fucking zone. I think it'd be funny. If she's not wearing heels, you could call her shorty, but just something she probably never had. She's going to be so psyched that you're 6'3". You know what I mean? That she finally is going to be, I don't know. You guys are roughly the same. But can you imagine her back in the day dating like a guy 5'6" and she wants to be held and feel safe? You know what I mean? And he's hanging on to her like a fucking one of those creepy toddlers that breastfeeds too long. By the way, I got to look that up. I don't give a fuck at this point. That's going to be my excuse when the feds come in. We'd like to talk to you about your search engine. Hey, do a podcast with no guests. What the fuck am I supposed to do here? At what age is it creepy to still
Breastfeed. Oh, man, they got to do this on Steve Harvey's show there, The Family Feud. The Mayo Clinic website states that children are weaned off on an average between ages 2 and 4. What the fuck? You listen, nobody remembers what happens to them when they're 3. You can't remember. You do not need to remember hanging on your mom's boob. You don't want to do that. And in some culture, extended breastfeeding continues for a couple of years past that. While the American Academy of Family Physicians recommends breastfeeding past infancy and gradually weaning off at no precise age. All right, here's a great article. Breastfeeding a 3.5-year-old isn't creepy. It's hilarious. I was on the couch feeding my newborn second child when her oldest sibling snuggled up close and asked, Mama, can I have some too? She's almost 4. I don't want to read this. Oh my God. Gross. I'm just reading the dialogue. She can't say milk. She can only say Mao. Can I have some Mao? And she goes, Mao is for babies. The kid said, please, just a teeny sip. She said, no. Hey, no means no, you little shit. Get away from her tits. She burst into tears. Dismayed, we were back here again after a long, arduous weaning process. She didn't self-wean as I expected, and in around a year, 15 months, 18 months, or 2, I thought, she didn't wean as I expected, around a year, 15 months, 18 months, or 2. I thought of my own mother's claim that I self-weaned at 8 months in our conversation surrounding my extended breastfeeding. Going to let her breastfeed till she goes to college, she chided. I said her frozen baggies of milk are in a care pack. I don't want to read this. I don't want to read this. You know what? I don't feel comfortable reading this. I apologize for looking that up and putting that shit in your fucking...
Dying while living out worst fears. Hey, Billy Redsack. I love that one. Hey, Billy Redsack. I'm a few weeks behind, but you've asked for examples of people dying in the midst of living out their worst fears. Did I ask for that? I have one of the worst with a link to the news story, too. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. There was a nurse who was prepping a patient for an MRI. The patient was very claustrophobic, so asked for a sedative to help her relax. Yeah, those MRIs, man. You know, I've had a couple of those. I always just say I can breathe and there's nothing on my chest, so it doesn't bother me. But I don't suffer like from claustrophobia. Like, you know, you got to do like my older brother used to sit on my chest and I can't breathe. And you start freaking out. I hate that shit. So I can't imagine people that are claustrophobic going into those things. So anyway, the doctor ordered Versed, which is like a Valium. The nurse couldn't find Versed in the medication dispenser, probably because that is a brand name. So she got Vecuronium instead. Vecuronium is a medication used in surgery to paralyze all the muscles of the body so the patient doesn't thrash around while being operated on. It also paralyzes your muscles of breathing, which is why in surgery you have to have a breathing tube put in. Oh, my God. I asked you to send this in? This is fucking horrific. It only paralyzes your muscles. It doesn't sedate or knock you out. So it is never given alone, as it would be a terrible feeling to not be able to move, speak, or breathe on your own, but to be able to feel everything happening. Well, that's what happened to the woman in the MRI. Oh, my God, she couldn't call for help. She was already claustrophobic, and then when she slid into the narrow tube, she was given the drug to help her relax. She became fully paralyzed and couldn't call out or squeeze the panic ball they give you to signal for help. So she died of suffocation in a small enclosed place, helpless and fully conscious until the end. Well, oh my God. Well, how quick does the medicine come on? I mean, if she couldn't call out for help in the very beginning, maybe it came on quickly. And have you ever seen those UFC? I remember one time watching Steve-O get choked out. Like, he was out immediately. I hope, for this person. I'm not claustrophobic, but in terms of living through your worst fears and having the worst happen, I think that one takes the cake. Jesus Christ. Here's a story about it. Tennessean.com. Jesus Christ. There's one for Tennessee. Get your MRI in Kentucky. Or go south down to Georgia.